Hello everyone, welcome to Models and Trains. In today's video I want to feature some Leyland Bison trucks that Blue Circle used, and also the next model that came along in the T45 range to replace them. So without further ado, obviously here's a photograph of the Bison. Now these were 6-wheelers, and these had the T11 11-litre engine. These were very good, again with the 5-speed gearbox. So but the power was more than enough to cope with hills. So here's my model of it before I put a load on it. There's a couple more photographs there. Yeah, these were called the ergonomic cabs. There was nothing ergo about them at all. Yeah, the engine was in the cab. Yeah, I suppose they were okay, but nothing special. So here's my model of it. Now this cab is a modified AC cab. Now Leyland Albion AEC used the same cab, just with different grills and a few minor mods, but the actual cab was exactly the same on all three. So here it is with a load that's been sheeted and roped, and some details with the rear lights, wing mirrors, highlighted indicators. And obviously it comes with its first aid kit. So I'll move that one to the rear slightly, and then put the next one up on. Making a mess, but there we are. It's typical of me. Right, so the next one is the Bison 6-wheeler bulk tanker, and this was again from 1980, and here's my model of it. So what I've done, if you look at the tank, I've tried to replicate the tank in detail. Now you can just see the steps there, how to access the filler caps on top. So here's my model of it, and what again, it's in a raised position. So let's get this one running around. So again, the cab was from a completely different model truck. The body, the tipper body, bulk tanker, all handmade on an EFE 6-wheel chassis. So if you see here, you can see how it has a hydraulic cylinder, so it can be tipped up. So again, these had the 11-litre TL11 engine. Basically they were Rolls-Royce designed, made by Perkins. Very, very good engine actually. In fact, this engine was used in a lot of British Rail's DMUs. A lot of people don't know that, but that's a fact. So I'm going to move these now, and then we'll go on to the next model in the range, for want of a better word. So just turn the page over a couple of times actually. There we go. So here we have what was called a Leyland Constructor. Now these were basically exactly the same chassis, engines as the Bison, but with the more comfortable cab, exactly the same engine, gearbox, everything. It was just these were the T45 range. Now these were, as I said, quite powerful. These were very good compared to the old Scammels. So here's my model of it. Now you're probably wondering, if you look on the photograph, you can see those white wind deflectors. And again, I've copied that onto the model. Now, these cabs were made by Motor Panels of Coventry, tested in a wind tunnel, and yet, without these add-on wind deflectors, the mirrors and the side windows would get covered in dirt and everything. Yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. So the company bought these wind deflectors and fitted them onto all the trucks. So we just bring up on there. Now I haven't made this tanker in its tipping mode. I have included lights and the valve at the rear for the discharge. Now this cab came from Langley Models, and it was actually a sleeper cab. So what I've had to do is cut the cab down, make it shorter, so to turn it into a day cab, because obviously the companies didn't use sleeper cabs, they use day cabs. Yeah, so I've installed mirrors and all the normal things, indicator, highlight. Yeah, these were good trucks. These were very good. Now, what's comical, maybe not the some, but the Scammels used to operate on 15 psi pressure in the tanks. However, the company, in their wisdom, decided to up the pressure to 30 psi, which meant that when you connected to a silo, you could actually make a cup of tea quicker than you could discharge one of these. Now these would carry 15 tons, this model. You could discharge the 15 tons in approximately 10 minutes, unbelievably quick. The problem was they didn't notify all the ready mix companies of the of the higher pressures. So the result was, when the valves were opened to pump the cement into the silos, the lids on the silos would blow off. There were filter stockings on top to allow air to vent, and they would blow them clean off. Yeah, very funny. Anyway, there we go. So that's my Leyland Bisons and its replacement, the Constructor. Thanks for watching. Bye now.